Good morning, students. Today in this video we will discuss about the physical and the chemical change. First, we should understand the meaning of physical change. So physical changes are those changes in which no new substance is formed with new properties. So here you can see in the diagram, the first diagram says the crumbling of cookie. That means when you take a cookie and you just crumble it, that means no new substance with new property is formed. There is just a change in its form. So this change is said to be a physical change. If I take an ice cube and I provide some heat, or if I don't even provide the heat, because the ice grabs the heat from the surrounding itself, so that ice will be converted into the liquid state due to the evaporation process. So melting of ice is an example of physical change, because your water, liquid water, can again be converted into the solid ice. So this process is said to be a physical change, because physical changes are also known as reversible changes. That means once you get the product, your product can even be reversed. That means you can obtain your reactant back. In the third diagram, you can see the pencil when it breaks down into two pieces. Again, there is no new substance formed. When you break the pencil into two pieces, no new substance is formed. So it is again said to be a physical change, because no new substance with the new properties are formed. After breaking, the pencil remains pencil. In the fourth example, you can see the tearing of paper. When you take a piece of paper and you just tear it from the middle or from any point, so the broken pieces of paper is again a paper. That is an example of tearing of paper, is an example of physical change, because no new substances with new properties are formed. In the next example, it is dissolving of sugar in water. When you take a spatula of sugar and dissolve it into water, sugar gets dissolved. But when you heat that water solution, that means sugar solution, when you heat it, all the water molecules will be evaporated and the leftover substance is your sugar. So again, you can obtain your sugar back, or you can separate the sugar from the sugar and water solution. So this is a type of reversible process, and reversible processes, they are generally your physical processes. Now coming to the chemical changes. Now what do you mean by chemical change? Chemical changes are those changes in which the new substance with new properties are formed. That means the substance formed is a new substance and it has different physical state, and as well as the chemical properties are different. So when you take a piece of wood and you burn it, all the particles of wood will be converted into the ash. Ash means raak ban jate hain. So that ash particles cannot be reversed back into the wood again. So these chemical changes are also known as the irreversible processes, because once you get the product, you cannot revert it back. So it is a type of irreversible process. Coming to the second example of chemical change is frying an egg. When you take an egg and you fry it, egg gets converted into the omelette, and that omelette cannot be reversed back into egg again. So that means it is not a reversible process and hence said to be a chemical change. So in the third example, that is baking a cake. Whenever you bake a cake, cake is baked from the flour or the baking soda that you take, baking powder, and many more substances are added into it for the formation of cake. So all these raw materials, when they are combined together, they are converted into a very delicious cake. So now the cake cannot be reverted back into its raw material. So baking a cake is an example of chemical change, because the process cannot be reversed back. In the next example, when you light a matchstick matchstick has some chemical constituent at the front part. So that means lighting or burning a matchstick, its chemical gets consumed up. So when the whole matchstick gets burned, you cannot get your matchstick again. So again, this is a type of chemical process because new substances with new properties are formed. Next example is rusting of iron nail. Rusting is the process in which your iron nail undergoes the process of oxidation. That means the process in which your brown flaky substance get deposit on the surface of iron nail. That means this process is a chemical change because once your iron nail gets corroded, the corroded part cannot be removed to revert the process. That means a new nail cannot be obtained back once it undergoes the process of corrosion or rusting. So that is an example of chemical change. So what all we have done in the physical and chemical change, here is a brief introduction about the difference between the physical and chemical change. So the first example is, or the first difference is, the changes in which no new substance with new properties are formed is called a physical change. We have already discussed that in a physical change, your new substances are not formed, and that means when new substance is not formed, that means no new properties will be obtained. So this is an example of physical change. Chemical change, the changes in which new substances with new properties are formed. For example, when you burn a piece of paper, it gets converted into the ash. That means ash is a new substance with new properties, and hence it cannot be reversed back. So this is an example of chemical change. Coming to the second difference, that is physical changes, they are reversible changes. Reversible means once you get the product, your product can be again converted into the reactant. So physical changes are reversible changes. I'll give you one example. When you convert your ice into liquid, your liquid can also be converted into ice on cooling. So that is a type of reversible change. If I talk about the chemical changes, they are irreversible changes. That means once you get the product, your reaction cannot be reversed back. That means once you get the product, you cannot obtain your reactant back. So chemical changes are irreversible changes. Coming to the third difference, the physical changes are temporary changes. Why I am saying temporary? That means they are not the permanent changes. You can just revert the process. That is why it is said to be a temporary process. Whereas chemical change, when you burn a piece of cloth, your burned cloth cannot be again reversed back into a piece of cloth. So the chemical changes, they are permanent changes. Once a reaction happens, it cannot be reverted back. So chemical changes, they are the permanent changes, and physical changes are the temporary changes. Coming to the fourth difference, in physical change, only the physical properties like shape, size and color changes. That means the composition will be same. The chemical constituent will be same. If I talk about the chemical formula of ice, you will say H2O. It will remain H2O. That is because it is formed from water only. So the chemical constituent remains the same. But when you heat this solid ice, it gets converted into liquid water, and liquid water has the chemical formula H2O. So here in ice and liquid water, your chemical formula remains the same, that is H2O, and the only difference is in the state. That means ice is in the solid state and water is in the liquid state. So only physical properties like shape, size or color gets changed. But in chemical change, both the physical means what you can observe through your eyes, both physical and the chemical properties gets changed. Chemical properties, why I am saying chemical properties, that means the constituent also gets changed. When your iron nail undergoes the process of rusting, it no longer remains your Fe iron only. It will be converted into the layer of oxide formed on its surface. So your ice or iron nail, when it undergoes the process of rusting, both its physical as well as the chemical properties gets changed. You can see the change in the color of iron, that is the physical property gets changed, and the chemical property is changed because the formula also gets changed. The rusting part of iron has a chemical formula Fe2O3.XH2O. That means the chemical composition also gets changed. Now coming to the fifth difference is the example. Example of physical change is tearing of paper. When you tear the paper, again the product obtained is a paper only. Paper, the chemical constituent of the paper doesn't change on tearing, so it is an example of physical change. Conversion of ice into water on heating. That means once your water is formed from ice, you can also revert the process. So it is an example of physical change. If I talk about the chemical change examples, it will be burning of magnesium ribbon in air. You have also studied this burning of magnesium ribbon in your 8th standard. When you burn the piece of magnesium ribbon in air, your magnesium oxide is formed. That is a white powdery substance. So the new substance with the new properties formed, so it is a type of chemical change. Second example is burning of paper. If I burn a piece of paper, my new substance with new properties are formed, and that burned paper will not be gets converted into the original paper. So burning of paper is also an example of chemical change. Another example is digestion of food. The food we eat after digestion, that means you are whatever food you are eating after digestion, can you make that digested food again into the raw materials of the food? No. That means digestion of food is a chemical change. It is a permanent change, and this process is an irreversible change because you cannot reverse it back. So here is one question that will tells you more clear picture of the physical and the chemical changes. There are some of the examples. You have to just identify whether these following processes are the physical changes or the chemical changes. So first part is cutting of tree. When you cut down the tree, that means the wood is obtained. Can your wood of tree again converted into that tree, whole tree again? No, because now that cut down part of tree is no longer able to produce a new tree. So cutting of trees are the example of chemical change, because once you cut down the tree, you cannot revert back the process. Second, melting of butter in a pan. When you take a pan, put some piece of butter pieces into it and provide some heat, then the butter will melt. This melting of butter will convert the solid butter into the liquid butter. But when you collect this whole liquefied butter into a container and just freeze it, you can again convert that liquefied butter into the solid butter. So that is an example of physical change, because melting of butter in a pan is reversible process. So physical change. Third part, rusting of iron. If I am saying rusting is generally done for the metal iron. So if I am saying rusting of almirah, so that means almirah is made up of iron. So rusting of iron is a chemical change, because once iron gets under the process of rusting, that means the layer of brown flaky substance gets deposited on the surface of iron, and hence it is said to be a chemical change. Part 4, boiling of water to form steam. That means now you are taking water and you are heating it, so that water gets converted into the steam. Steam means in the gaseous form. Water remains water, but the state is changing. But the steam can also be converted into the liquefied water again when you cool down the steam. So this is an example of physical change. Fifth part, passing of electric current through water and water breaking down into hydrogen and oxygen gases. That means whenever you pass the electric current through the water, two gases are produced, hydrogen and oxygen. These two gases whenever these are formed, you cannot just revert the process simply. You require some conditions to form the water again. So this is a type of chemical change. And also you're providing electricity. Again, in a chemical change, some reagents or some conditions have to be acquired, only then the process will occur. So this is an example of chemical change. Sixth part, dissolving common salt in water. You simply dissolve the salt in water, then your process is said to be physical change, and you can revert back the process by obtaining the common salt from the solution. Carry out the process of evaporation. So dissolving common salt in water is an example of physical change. Seventh part, making a fruit salad with raw fruits. If you just decorate your fruit salad with the different raw fruits, your fruit salad which you have prepared in a very decorative manner, that fruit salad will be again converted into the raw fruits. You just segregate it. So that is a type of physical change. So here no new substance with new properties are formed. Next part A, eighth, that is burning of paper and wood. When you burn a piece of paper or a wood, again new substances with new properties are formed. That means it may happen that your ash is formed. So that is a type of chemical change. In part 9, it is growth of plant. Growth of a plant, that means when the plant grows, that the fully grown plant cannot be converted into the small baby plant again. That means even if I talk about the growth of the human beings, once we grow, we cannot again convert it into the baby. So that means the growth process is a type of chemical change. Even when we grow, we cannot get converted into the baby again. So this process, growth process, is a type of chemical change. 10th part, mixing of iron fillings and sand. You just take some amount of iron fillings, that is Fe particles, and sand. Mix these two substances. On simply mixing, they do not react. So no new substances formed. So this is a type of physical change. Cooking, 11th part, cooking or digestion of food. When you cook food, cook generally means you are cooking some raw materials. So that raw material gets fried, or you can say your food has been cooked. So that cooked food again cannot be converted into the raw material. So it is a type of chemical change. If I talk about the digestion of food, when we digest the food, that means that digested part of the food cannot be converted into the food that we eat. So again, this is a type of chemical change. 12th part, burning of a candle. Now, burning of a candle is both physical and chemical change. Suppose I am burning or lighting the candle, the cotton wick present on the surface of the candle, that cotton wick gets neutralized, or you can say gets finished off as you lit the candle. So that cotton wick, that means it contains some amount of carbon particles into it. So when it undergo the process of oxidation, that means when you burn that cotton wick, it gets oxidized and the substances produced will be carbon dioxide, soot particles, or some smoke is there. So that cotton wick produces carbon dioxide, CO2, that is CO2, soot particles, soot means जो काला धुआं आता है, soot particles or smoke. So this burning of cotton wick is your chemical change. But if I talk about the wax in the candle, that wax, when I heat or lit the candle, that wax is converted into the liquid state. On freezing that liquid state, it again converted back into the wax, that is in the solid state. So burning, or you can say the conversion of wax from solid to liquid or liquid to solid, it is a physical change. And burning of the cotton wick into the carbon dioxide, soot particles and smoke, it is a type of physical change. So I hope in this video you all are clear about the physical and chemical changes. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. So all these things we have discussed in this video. Thank you, class.